What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 44 of the Anime Degens Bullshit Hour. I've got Tyler with me, and we have Kriegs back with us because Bass is out of town, and he's basically our sub on the bench at this point. So, how you guys doing?
I'm doing wonderful. It's a Monday. I just got back from I went to like a small anime convention this weekend. I was telling Bass all about it yesterday. It was very interesting. I don't know if I'm ready or not for a bigger one yet because had some interesting people there. So
That makes perfect sense.
had some really interesting people there. So I can imagine what a bigger one is like. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'd be curious if the bigger ones draw more of the casual fan in. Because I don't think if I win, I would go all out and cosplay or something like that. I would just kind of go walk around and learn and see stuff.
Yeah, maybe it kind of dilutes the more interesting people. You know what I mean? And you just don't see them as often, possibly.
Or it brings them out in droves, and there's just more of them, and they're everywhere, and you just become numb to it.
I guess. But yeah, Kriegs, how was your day?
Well, it was good. Just kind of a normal day. Went to work, came home. Didn't really do much today.
You excited to be back with the boys?
Oh, heck yeah, man. Always down to talk some anime and bullshit.
Perfect.
This is the bullshit hour, so.
That's what we do best. But awesome. Tyler, you got any news to get us going?
Yeah. So I was a guest on What Do You Say Anime over the weekend. By the time this episode is out, I'm pretty sure they will have released that episode. We was playing a fun game of Password. If you're familiar with that, kind of like you guess shows based on one word hints, I guess you can say, but anime style. So I had my partner. I picked Ash from Simping For Senpai. Both podcasts are really good podcasts to listen to. I highly recommend them. So make sure y'all go check it out. See if we won or not. Root for the. I think her name was Degens Senpais. So make sure you cheer for us. We need it. So
hell yeah.
The links and shit will be in the description as always.
Awesome. We also got word that the Black Clover manga is finally going to be back on December 25th. So Merry Christmas to all our Black Clover stands. It's going to be a Jump Giga, though, not Shonen Jump. So it should be a really long chapter, like the equivalent of 4 chapters, because they're going to a monthly. So that'll be kind of cool.
Hey, Bass is going to be super excited about that, honestly. So
hey, he's watching Black Clover. He started again. And
I seen that, bro, just a while ago. I seen it.
He sent me a picture and I was like, oh, you poor bastard. Hopefully you're ready for a lot of screaming, because that's why I shut it off the first time.
It tames down some. It gets better, I think, honestly.
Yeah, right? I mean, I really enjoyed it. I got the screaming doesn't really bother me. I mean, if you can watch Naruto, you can watch Black Clover.
Especially OG Naruto, So.
Oh yeah, believe it.
Yeah,
awesome. They also announced a Code Geass sequel, so I'm curious to see how that works, because main character dead. So, big spoiler. Sorry.
Shit.
Right,
I don't know how you continue that story.
Are they now? Do we know? Are they continuing off the anime or the 3 films they did?
I don't know,
because that can go 2 different routes. That's where I'm a little confused, but
I guess we'll find out.
Huh?
Yeah, I think this is just a new information is released, so I think that maybe we'll get to know kind of the route they're gonna take, possibly when this comes out, possibly. So I guess the next thing we got is apparently Goat Oda, he's got a one shot, which I think I've heard of a couple of times, but it's called Monsters. And apparently he's getting an anime adaptation, and it will premiere sometime in 2024. And I'm kind of excited about this because we actually get to see a little bit more work of what Oda can do outside of the One Piece verse, you know?
I don't want him to do anything but One Piece because I want it to end eventually. So,
Well, I
Oda,
mean,
stick to your bag, dog.
he ain't doing it no more. It was one shot, so it's already done. I think, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Kriegs, I think you said something about Blue Exorcist, right?
Yes, so any fans of the Blue Exorcist show, season 3 was announced. It is going to be done by Studio VOLN. And I didn't know much about this studio. It's created by ex Madhouse producer. And probably their most well-known work would be "I Want to Eat Your Pancreas,"
A banger show.
Yep, I was just gonna say Tyler knows all about that. It will release January 6, 2024, and it's going to be picking up. I believe it's chapters 50 to 64, the Shimani Illuminati saga. And the last time Blue Exorcist came out was the Kyoto saga in 2017. So it's been a minute since this has been animated.
Nice. I also saw that Gundam Requiem for Vengeance, which just got a second trailer, and that's a really interesting show because it's not technically anime. It's being animated in Unreal Engine 5.
What? No
So
way.
it's like video games graphics. Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, like, it looks cool, and I mean, it's taking place like on Earth during like the original timeline, like mid Gundam. So like, it should be pretty good story, hopefully.
Yeah, I just wonder. I haven't seen the trailers. I just wonder if they can like make like a quality like anime with that. But
Fortnite graphics.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's not an anime at that point, so that's what I'm curious to see. You know, like it's just kind of a movie or a show. I don't even know if it's a show or a movie, but it looked really well done. I mean, the Zaku looked fucking sick, so like I'm in on that.
Okay.
It could be your big moment, Tyler, because it's mechas in the Fortnite engine. So like we're just getting everything you hate about robots colliding in one.
This is my perfect time to give Gundam a 1. This is my time to strike.
Nobody's gonna care, bro. Studio Sunrise got their bag already. Be a 1 and a 10, so we'll give it a 5 on average.
Depends on what Kriegs gives it, He could give it a like 3, 2, but probably not.
But yeah, check it out. Like it looks really cool, so I would definitely recommend checking it out. And I have no idea what the plot's gonna be, but there's giant robots, so fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll check that trailer out.
Awesome. Well, Tyler, you want to get us into Suzume?
Yeah. So we're doing a review of Suzume on this episode. It is a 2022. I think it released in 2023 in theaters for us in North America. It's a fantasy adventure movie, and it just recently came to Crunchyroll actually within the last month or two, I believe. It's done by Comix Wave Films, which is also done Weathering with You, Your Name, to mention a few of them. The creator and director is Makoto Shinkai, which has also is also like the creator and director of Weathering with You, Your Name, 5 centimeters per second. The MAL is 8.34. So pretty good show, 4th highest grossing anime movie of all time now. It's also award winning. I think there's 3 different awards. One of them was for like sound, I believe, or music or something like that, and then 2 was like for different like anime type things. So, but pretty interesting show. I'm glad we picked this to watch. So,
yeah, definitely, man. I was excited. I've been trying to watch this for a minute, but like all I could ever find were like really bad camera recordings, and I was like, I'm not doing that.
I also think if I remember correctly, this was also a suggestion from our Spotify listener. I think their name was Mars Bars, I believe. They let us know in the comments one time that they wanted us to watch Suzume, so here we are watching
Awesome.
Suzume. So,
well, hell yeah, Mars Bars. Appreciate the recommendation here, big time.
yeah. So we're gonna get with a summary real quick. The story follows the journey of a 17-year-old Suzume who encounters a mysterious door that unleashes a destructive force when opened. Suzume, along with a man named Sota, must close these portals to prevent further disaster and destruction. Um, and the way we're gonna lay this out today is we're gonna go through like a general review, and then we're gonna get into the spoilers later. So, y'all don't have to worry about many spoilers. Probably, we ain't promising nothing though.
Yeah, we'll give you the overall opinion on it, and then you can skip like 20 minutes if you haven't watched it yet. Well, we'll put the timestamps in the description, and then we'll also put our final thoughts on it. That way you can check out our ratings and stuff without getting all the spoilers.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna start off with kind of like our first impressions of the first couple minutes. Like we turned the show on. What's the first things that you thought in the first couple of minutes?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was wow, this is beautiful. Like every other movie we've watched from this guy. And it was stunning, man. Like the landscapes were picturesque and it just really caught your eye right from the start.
Yeah, for me, I was like, this is really beautiful too, but I was like, is this gonna be sad? Because a little girl was running around and stuff, crying. Like, no way, this is gonna be sad. No way, I'm gonna sit here and cry for a good portion of this movie. But then, she kind of woke up, and I was like, okay, I'm pretty, I'm okay now. This is starting to look a little bit better at least. So I didn't want to cry this whole time.
But you love crying, dude. Don't lie to us.
I mean, I don't mind it, especially when like something gives me a good reason to cry, but like I would rather be happy, bro. I would rather be happy.
Nah.
Yeah, I guess to echo everybody's praises, yes, I agree. Very visually appealing, just like his previous films. I didn't expect anything less, and yeah, it does open up very confusing, and then Suzume wakes up, and you're like, oh, okay, what's going on here? So it draws you in instantly to the story.
Yeah, I feel like Makoto Shinkai does a good job with that too, because like Weathering with You did like the same thing where you were like,
Yeah.
what the fuck's going on here? And then you get into the story, and then they come back and they close the door, quote unquote, on it and bring it full circle. So I feel like that's one of his like techniques that he uses more than once, I feel like.
Yeah.
It didn't and Weathering with You didn't wasn't they like overlooking the Tokyo skyline or something like that from a room, hospital room or something?
Yeah, and you were
Yeah.
like, who the hell is this person? Like what's going on here? And then it's like an hour and 45 minutes later, you figure it out. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so first impressions was pretty good for all of us, it seems like we said, it's very beautiful. Right out the gate. So I guess going off that, like I assume we all like the animation style. Was there any like things that you really, really liked or like about how the world looked and felt? Any kind of thoughts on any of that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the world was stunning. I was really confused by this giant worm thing and like
Yeah.
how they just called it the worm. I'm like, is this just some faceless, like random enemy that they're gonna fight the whole time? And sure enough, yeah. But it's interesting because like they don't put a lot of emphasis on what the worm actually is compared to like Suzume and her internal struggles. So like I like how they used it as a plot point, but it wasn't like it didn't take away from like the overarching themes of the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah. At first I thought it was like like clouds or like something like that, something that couldn't really touch things, but we learned that it actually is able to touch and create the you know um the impact with its touches and stuff like that. So that was pretty neat. I was like, well, this just ain't clouds now. Um, but one thing that really stood out to me was if y'all remember, like when we was in Tokyo, later on in the movie, they showed like they popped out and they showed like a really neat visual of like the Tokyo landscape with this worm above it. Do y'all remember that? That
Nope.
was
Yeah.
a beautiful picture, bro. That was the best scene, the best picture of the whole movie, I thought. It looked phenomenal. So,
Yeah, that was really cool seeing because it just showed the magnitude of what could potentially go down if they don't stop this thing, And
yeah.
that was huge.
And it looked,
Yeah.
like I said, it looked really good.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was terrifying, though.
It was, yeah.
And then she's screaming, "You don't see that?" And then they're like, "No, what's going on?" And then she's like, "Come on." So yeah, like to Tyler's point, the scene in Tokyo where it's just bearing down, going in that tunnel, and all those people were there, and I'm like, man, if that thing touches the ground, it's game over, man.
Definitely, dude. And I also really like the soundtrack. I mean, we all knew the opening was a banger
Oh yeah,
because like that has been on like my anime Spotify playlist for months now, and that song's an absolute heater. But like the overall soundtrack of the movie too was really good.
Yeah. The sound in general, like the sound effects. Like I said before, this apparently won an award because of its music and sound. So they did something right. Plus, like all you need to hear is like 5 seconds of that damn song, and it's stuck in your head for the rest of the day.
Dude,
So.
it's been stuck in my head for like a year now, probably.
there you go.
All
You just
randomly
hear-
just do 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 do, and you're just like, nope, it's not the right time for that head.
Yeah, you just hear the ru, 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 ru. You're like, damn it.
Well, y'all can thank Dan and Creeks for getting that stuck in your head again.
Oh yeah,
You're
I
welcome.
almost bought the vinyl of that thing, man.
Damn. Okay.
I thought
Like-
about it, but it was kind of pricey.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have no way to play vinyl right now, so it would just go sit on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah, it's so crazy that like just like a little segment, 5-6 seconds of a song can just make like impact you like that. So they done something right when they did that. So but I guess did Crease tell us what he thought about the sound and stuff? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I started singing.
Oh.
No, yeah, the soundtrack again, it does really well with the film and the visuals. Just like he did with Weathering with You. That one surprised me. I didn't realize how well they could make the sound of the rain and weather like just
Yeah.
like appealing. And this one does it again.
Yeah, I think when we watched Weathering with You a couple months ago, like we spent like 10 minutes talking about the rain. Like that was it. We were like, no, this rain is awesome.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we really did talk at least for 5 to 10 minutes about it. So that's how you know it's good. They know what they're doing. So even in Your Name, they had like scenes like that, and
Oh, yeah.
the sound was just amazing as well. So but I guess it's pretty solid so far. It seems like. I guess we'll move on to like characters. Did we have any favorites? People that we didn't like?
Yeah, before we get into that, did you guys watch it subbed or dubbed?
I watched 5 minutes of dubbed, and I was kind of like, it was kind of hard to follow because the words seemed kind of mushed up sometimes, and I didn't really know what they were saying, so I switched to subbed, and I had a much more amazing time. So
Okay. Yeah, I watched it dubbed because I was I had to watch it after work, and I was doing some other stuff during it, and I thought the dub was really good. The voice acting was really well done, and like the voices they chose for the characters were good, so I liked that.
Yeah, I didn't have no complaints about the dubbed voices. They was really good. I was just having a hard time like understanding what they was saying at times when they was talking kind of low, I guess. So just switched
Okay.
to sub that way I could see the subtitles. But
Yeah, I changed it up. I watched it subbed. I watched Your Name and Weathering Me Through both dub, and then I don't know why this one I just went with the. I think because Crunchyroll defaulted to it, but I was like, yeah, whatever.
That's weird because Crunchyroll for me defaulted to dubbed,
Oh, really?
and I was just like, I don't want to get up and change this right now, so I'm rolling with it.
I think they actually have a setting, what your default is, subbed or dubbed, I believe. So
Huh, interesting. You figure with all the anime I've watched on their freaking platform that's been subtitled, they would have kind of figured it out at this point, you know?
true. But yeah, did you have any that you really liked?
Yeah,
The
I think
characters?
my favorite character was Sarazawa, which is Sota's friend. He was just
Hey.
kind of like a breath of fresh air because like he was just kind of along for the ride and the journey, and like he was just bumping his tunes and singing along the whole time, and I was like, this guy gets it, man. This is what a road trip should be, not just sleeping the entire time.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna pick him because I had the same feeling. I really enjoyed his character. He's like that down for anything type guy, ride or die, like that type of shit. But he's also really fun to hang out with, I feel like. So even though
Yeah,
he's a teacher in training or something like that,
Yep.
so
you
really
gotta be
interesting.
some kind of guy to drive a convertible where the roof doesn't work as your main car, because that is a bold strategy. And we see when it starts raining, it does not go well for him.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I guess we can try it, and then it don't happen. He's like, oh yeah, that's what I figured would happen. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
I was just cracking up. Tamaki, the aunt, was just so pissed off, and like I think the roof covered enough where Suzume in the back seat wasn't getting wet at all. And I was like, damn, bro.
Yeah. Then you say, "Oh, we'll fix it at the next rest stop," and it's like 40 kilometers. I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, that's how you know he's a G right there. He's pretty cool. So, what about you, Creeks? You have anybody you really like?
I really liked. I'm gonna go with the normie answer. I liked Suzume. I was interested in her story, why she was the only one that could see the worm, and then she was helping closing doors, and I just wanted to watch her journey, and I don't want to get into the spoilers, but we'll just keep it at that.
You know who would have definitely been able to see the worm?
Uh,
Kuwabara.
oh,
Kuwabara.
I thought you was gonna make a Trimmers joke, bro.
No.
Kevin Bacon.
Kuwabara is very attuned with the spiritual world for a human.
That's your sensei from Yu Yu Hakusho, right?
No, that's Genkai. Kuwabara is
Urameshi's friend.
he's a hard boiled motherfucker.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So in this film he grabs the piece of wood. His powers ignite. I'm gonna cut that worm in half.
He gets a fucking energy sword out of nowhere.
Anybody you didn't like?
I don't really have anyone I didn't like. I mean, I didn't like Daijin at first because that cat
Okay.
was like a just little shithead. And
Yeah.
it kind of pissed me off. I'm like, do you realize what you're doing, little kitty man? Like, what's going on here, dude?
You realize what you're doing, little kitty cat? And they were so nonchalant. It's like a lot of people's gonna die. And just so happy about it,
You better do something, Suzume. Everybody's gonna die if you don't figure this out. Like, why'd you make this happen, cat?
I want to play. it's like the perfect cat, you know what I mean? And probably Creeks can confirm this because he does have a cat I know
Oh,
of.
Jesus, yeah. My cat was being a little Daijin earlier, so
They just want to watch the world burn, bro.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I had a love-hate relationship with that damn cat too. Sometimes I really liked it. It was pretty funny, but other times I really hated it. So
Well, it's like, cats like to knock things off tables. Daijin was just doing that with freaking natural disasters. He's
yeah,
like, oh, by the way, I'm going to knock this glass on the table, but the glass is actually a magnitude 10 out of 10 earthquake. Like, enjoy it. Have fun.
Good luck.
yeah. You think I won't do it? Oh, here we go.
But I
But
did really like the character development of Suzume throughout the whole movie. It was cool to see how she grew as a person, in 2 hours. They did a really good job with that. So
yeah, I really thought that the ant really like had a lot of character development in a short amount of time. I felt like so. What other ant are you gonna see? Are you gonna know of that is just okay with what she was okay with? You know what I mean?
I mean, she definitely wasn't okay with it for most
Oh,
of the
yeah.
movie.
Well, she you know learned to be kind of okay with it.
She was bussing at the beginning.
Can't blame her. Like,
Yeah. Because when she go from Kyushu to Tohoku Prefecture? She went from basically South Japan to like Northeast Japan. I was like, jeez.
yeah, it was a journey.
Yeah, it was wild. Anything else about characters and character development? Do you have any more thoughts on those?
That's not going to have a lot of spoilers, so we'll save those
Yeah,
for later.
I'm trying to like hold back a little bit.
Okay.
I don't want to say too
Um,
much.
did we like enjoy the plot or the main story of Suzume? Like, what was our feelings on that?
Yeah, I thought it was really fun. Like, the way they told the story was just a really, really fun tale. I mean, like, they're just going on some crazy journey chasing a magical cat around using Twitter with people taking pictures of it doing random shit. And I'm like, you could not, like, this movie only makes sense if you made it like last year, Like, it, just with how popular like social media has been, it was funny that they used that as such a big plot device.
It did, and I didn't even really think. I didn't really put too much into that, until you was talking about it before this. I just kind of I seen it, and then I just kind of acknowledged it, but I didn't really like think about it too much. I guess it just worked so well. I guess.
Definitely. And I was laughing because when she was scrolling Twitter, it showed the robot that I sell on like her Twitter feed. And I was like, what the fuck? What's Boston Dynamics doing in this movie? This is weird.
I mean, luckily she didn't have, My Hero Academia Twitter open, so
Oh God.
Yeah, that would have been wild. You just see this girl seeing the cat, just Deku and somebody making out, and just more of the
Deku
cat.
Bakugo,
Todoroki,
We're like, ah, damn it, I gotta scroll
then
through this.
more cat.
Yeah, I guess for me, I'm just really glad that it wasn't really confusing. It was pretty simple to grasp. It left a lot. I feel like it left a lot to our interpretation, I guess, but still kept it like uh solid, I guess. Like a solid show with like I never got bored of it. It seemed like the time just flew by, even though it was a 2 hour movie. Like I never had to pause it or step away. I had so much fun watching it. So
Yeah, and I thought the way they told the story too, how it just kind of bounced around to all these different cities it just kept you on the edge of your seat because you're like, where's the worm coming up next? What are we gonna see here? Like it was just fun the way they told it.
yeah,
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. How she was traveling across Japan, meeting people, making connections, closing doors, and then learning more about, the worms, the door closers, and learning more about herself too as she kind of went through it.
Yeah. I guess talking about all this, I guess we can kind of get into what we thought the theme actually was. Like, what do you think that they was trying to say, in your opinion?
Yeah, for me, the one of the big theme that stood out was like grief after natural disasters. Don't want to get too much into the plot, but a lot of it is Suzume coming to terms and reflecting on her life and coming to terms with some childhood trauma she has. And the way they did it was really well. And I thought it was cool because like they paralleled the balance inside of yourself with like the balance of the two totems in the spirit world, keeping the worm at bay. So it kind of showed that like when trauma can like throw you out of balance, the world can have you like your internal self can have what's akin to an earthquake in the real world. So I thought it was really cool the way they did that. And they just the way they told the story. Like once you kind of figured out the themes, like, oh, that was such a well done way to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's something like that too. I also think it's, kind of letting you know that like, even though bad things happen, in like the world or in your life or whatever, you can always still move on. And I felt like, the doors closing and stuff like that was, somewhat, some kind of statement for that and as well. So, uh,
Definitely, man. Yeah. Like closing the door on the past and moving on with the
yeah.
future. So I can definitely see that too.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of similar what I kind of drew from it, coming to terms with the past. Also, in a lot of his films, natural disasters are always a common occurrence. So the journey through Japan to me kind of showed like the beauty of everything, the places she visited, the people she met, the regions, and then also on the other hand, the destructive power that nature holds dwelling.
Yeah, I feel like the two movies we've watched in the podcast from Makoto Shinkai have been natural disasters and coming of age. Like that's it.
Yeah. A lot of that. That's a common theme with him. And then this one was definitely like a little bit of like the power of memories and then, feelings to connect people together.
The power of friendship.
Yeah,
This
And
was a shonen. Got it.
And I feel like that hits on your name a lot too.
Yeah.
Your name was really big about like the power of memories and like that kind of stuff as well.
Feelings.
So
Yep.
yeah. So I guess we can see like a lot of similarities between all of his work. I assume. I don't. Have you ever has either one of y'all ever watched 5 centimeters per second?
Nah, it's on my list.
Yeah.
Like I always want to watch it, but I never can.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, and I can't remember if I've watched Your Name or not. So
Oh,
I might have to
It was a
dive
big
into that one
comet or
next.
whatever, the big meteor or
yeah.
whatever. So
Your Name is
um,
such a great one.
the romance with the big meteor.
Yep.
I think 5 centimeters per second is like a more of a romance show. If I remember from what I've read of it. So I haven't watched it either though. So, but
Oh, this one came out in 2007. Wow.
which one? The five
5 sec.
centimeters?
Yeah, 5 centimeters per second.
Okay. What does it look like to you? Like a pure romance?
Let's see. Story set in Japan, early 1990s. Oh, wow. Yeah. This sounds like a romance to me.
Yeah.
So you
So
follow someone from the early 90s until the present day of 2008.
okay.
Sweet.
I don't
Pretty
want to read
interesting.
I don't want to read too much because I don't want to spoil it for myself.
Yeah, so I guess all of his movies like are kind of they have the same feeling, and I guess they're all pretty good in my opinion. They have been from what I've seen. So,
Oh yeah.
but which one has been your favorite so far? Like if you had to pick one.
Well, so I've only watched two of them, I guess. So I think I like Suzume more than Weathering with You. Just it like there was a point in Weathering with You when I was like, all right, guys, get the plot going. Like, let's finish this story up. It's been like an hour and 40 minutes. And I didn't get that with this one. So like I think I just like the pacing a little bit more of Suzume and the soundtrack, which is banging.
Yeah, I feel like Weathering with You was kind of a little bit predictable at some point throughout the show. And this one, I thought I was kind of being able to predict what was going to happen, and it didn't happen like that. So I'll give her props to that. Suzume for me is probably my favorite one so far, with Your Name coming in second. Weathering with You was still a good one, but like it doesn't come close to Your Name or Suzume in my opinion. So
Yeah, I definitely would rank Your Name number one. That was my favorite one. Suzume, I would give it a number two. Yeah, Weathering You just had a lot of. I think it had suffered from like a slow start, and then it picks up, and then it stagnated a little bit. But they're all great films to watch, though.
all right, I guess that's kind of like the end of this. I guess we'll give her like a rating of what we thought this show is, and kind of like our final thoughts before we move on to the spoiler section of this review.
Perfect. I guess I can go first. So overall, I thought it was an excellent film. Like I said, I watched the dub and the voice acting was really good. I think if I rewatch this, I'll probably rewatch it subbed to see how the sub compares. But the animation was stunning as always. The plot was really fun, and I think I'm giving it an 8.2.
8.2, and
I don't remember what I gave Weathering with You though. So if I gave Weathering with You higher than that, just add like 0.1. We're good.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of on par with Mal. Mal gives it an 8.34 average. So I guess with me, I'm probably gonna give it a solid 8 too. Like I said, this is up there with Your Name. I think it's better than Your Name. But it's a very good story. It really is. The plot's really good. The characters are likable. It's very beautiful. There's, like I said, there's some scenes that just blow you away with how pretty they are. I actually took a picture of one and I'll post it in Discord for everyone to see in the podcast discussions channel, linktree.com/anime degens.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, make sure y'all join. But you'll see what I'm saying when you see it, and the picture I don't think really spoils it. I wouldn't say, because you won't know what you're looking at really. So, but it'll definitely keep you watching the screen for the whole 2 hours. Like I've mentioned, you won't get bored. So, that's about all I got. Solid 8.
Okay, yeah. Definitely just another great film made by Makoto Shinkai. Visually appealing. It starts off, draws you in. The story keeps you on the edge of your feet the whole time. I like the balance of characters, the theme of it. I think I would give this right around with what Mel's saying, an 8.3. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
My
I
only
like that
regret,
y'all give them like decimals, and I'm just over here giving like a solid 8 or a
Yeah.
high 7 and shit like that. So
no, it's all right. My only regret is I didn't see this in the theaters when it came out.
Yeah, I think this would have been so much better on a big screen.
I know. I was thinking that too.
Like when she first enters the crazy whatever, and you see her in the dream world. I'm not gonna say, I don't even remember what they call it, but like the other world, like
ever after.
The ever after is what they call it.
The other world, yeah. Like seeing that on the big screen, like on an IMAX or something, would have been insane.
It would have looked beautiful. Like this shit would have looked gorgeous on IMAX. So it would have felt like it would have felt crazy too, being able to hear like everything around you and shit. So
Dude, the bass of that song would have been awesome in an
Oh my
IMAX
God.
theater.
The whole theater's just humming it.
I guess that ends there, like spoiler free review section of it, and now we're gonna get on to like the spoiler zone. We're gonna get a little deeper and talk about some of the plot and what we thought about it and stuff. So if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, just use the timestamps to skip ahead to our cozy anime section. So But I guess we'll start with was there anything that you would have changed about this movie to make it better?
No.
What
No,
about
I
you,
don't think
Greg?
there was really anything you could change. I mean, like, I guess maybe make Daijin less of a dickhead.
Yeah, that can.
But like he came around, he came around at the end, was a good cat, but like I felt like his character was really, really selfish. But I really can't blame the little cat because like he had been stuck as a totem for God knows how long. Like
centuries.
yeah. So like if I was stoned and became like a living creature again after all that time, I would want to go do fun shit too. I don't know if my definition of fun shit is like creating earthquakes, but I'll leave that to Daijin. That's his bag.
Or teasing Suzume about how many people is gonna die.
Oh my god.
No, I guess the only thing I'd really change is there's like if it was up to me, I would kind of make Suzume and let's see, I forget his name, Soda. I would kind of make Suzume and Soda's age a little bit closer. I know she
Yeah.
was like 17 during the first encounter, and he was around 21. So, but I also know that he didn't do anything romantically towards her. But she did fall for him, and she did do romantic things to him. And I also know that Japan, 17 is, is okay or whatever. But I feel like, why not just make them a little bit closer? Like that's a really small age gap. So what would it hurt to make them a little bit closer and make it a little bit more right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I guess I need to understand when you go to college in Japan. Is it 18?
Yeah.
Or
I think so.
so I
Yeah.
think if she was in college during this whole thing, her aunt would not have had such a big role in the movie because at that point, you're independent, you're at school, you're living in a dorm or you're living in an apartment somewhere near your college. So like I think it would have changed the overall plot a lot if they made her a little older.
Well, what about
And
making him younger though? Like make him fresh out of school, like a 18 or a 19, you know?
and then you change his character too though because he was a grad student and like
Oh yeah, he was studying for that test.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a little bit of a minor thing that I would have tried to change and make it just a little bit more better, because I can see how like that would, look kind of a little bit bad, but I think at the end they actually like make that better because they actually wait. It shows them waiting some time passing. Well, I assume that she turns the legal age during that time before they meet again. You know, is what I would
yeah.
like to assume. So
Yeah, I guess
but
4 years doesn't bother me that much.
yeah,
I
it
I
doesn't. But
understand, like, I'm looking at this through the eyes of Japan where the age of consent is 16, so, like, 4 years doesn't really bother me that much, you know?
yeah. And like I said, props to him. He kind of knew that she was still in school and stuff. And he didn't really do anything like that. I mean, he really couldn't though. But
I mean, he was a fucking chair, so
Your
"Hey, yo,
Honor,
girl,
I
take a
was a
seat.
chair.
Hey, yo, girl, come take a seat."
She did at one point.
I know.
um, Kriegs, was there anything that you would change or like you could too?
I think initially I was kind of mad when Daijin turned Sota into the chair. I was like, "What? What are we doing here? Like, it's been 15 minutes."
Why are
But
you
it
so
made
pissed off
sense.
at him?
Yeah, I was so angry about that. But no, it made sense why as you watch the movie. But man, he had some athleticism as a chair. I was quite
Dude,
impressed.
he's, like, jumping across roller coasters and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, What kind of
So
chair has the muscle dexterity to do this?"
so that was a little like, I was like, okay, it's an anime. Pull it back. Pull it back.
Fill it in.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I'll let it slide. But yeah, he was keeping up with that cat. I was like, what is going on right now?
I mean, I will say there was a cat in my buddy's neighborhood growing up named Tripod because it had 3 legs. And that was the fastest fucking cat I've ever seen in my life. So
Okay.
3-legged chair.
All right, maybe there's truth.
Got some move into it.
Yeah. I guess early on, like when Suzume first found a door, when she went looking for soda, what did you think it was and did? Like, what was your first initial thoughts on what it did?
So like, I mean, after watching the trailers, you had seen her, like you'd seen them in this other world. So like, I was really surprised when she like went through the door and nothing happened.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I thought it was gonna like teleport her to like another dimension type thing, because that's kind of like you said what the trailers kind of seen. And then when she just kept on going in and out of it, I was so confused. I was like, wait, what did we see? Like, what's going on? So
Yeah. And like during the trailer, did they ever have the giant worm thing in it? Because that threw me off. I was like, I was not
No.
expecting that at all.
No, they just showed the like gust and wind from her closing the door, but it was so close up you couldn't see the worm coming out.
yeah, like I said, I was really surprised when they actually said it was a worm and that they started showing it more up close and it looked more like a worm, because I thought it was like smoke or something like that, some kind of like, gas type uh structure or something. So
Yeah, definitely thought it was some crazy spiritual energy or something like
yeah.
that. But I was just surprised. Like I said, they didn't show that in the trailer, I don't think. So like they did a really good job not highlighting plot points in this trailer. Because I thought this was a very different movie when we were going into it.
I mean, what else do you have to do when you got the da 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 da, when
You're
they're
not
shutting the
wrong.
door? So I mean, But what about you, Crease? What do you think was going on?
So I had like two thoughts. I was like, another world when she opens the door. And then I was like, is it kind of like symbolism for Pandora's box? Like, if she opens it, does something come out? And I was partially right with that. I didn't know about the worms until I started watching the movie. But those were my first two things. I didn't know where that door led to, but I knew it wasn't her world. It was something else.
Yeah, and like when I watched the trailer, I thought we were gonna get like some Inuyasha vibes with like Kagome falling down the well
Down the well, yeah.
to another world. So like I was like, oh, this weird ass chair dude must just be something from this other world, Like that's what went through my head.
Okay. Yeah. And I guess the next thing, like, what was that reaction when the cat first spoke and then made soda into the chair? Like, did we know that this cat was actually the statue that Suzume had found at the door yet? Or like, what was going on?
Yeah, I definitely picked up on it that was the totem cat.
Okay.
Like it would have just been really weird if we watched like a little. I thought it was a fox at first when it was coming out of the statue. But like it would have just been bizarre if there was like some random cat that showed up that could talk, So like you just had to put 2 and 2 together, I feel like.
I thought it was a mouse. I don't know why. I thought it was a mouse at first. And so when the cat showed up, I was like, that's weird. Where did this cat come from? And then it talked and I was like, huh. Oh shit, like
Yeah.
this is the thing, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. We got a talking cat now, and it's actually pretty cute. And then it made Soda like disappear, which I thought it made him disappear. And I was like, oh shit, no way. And then he actually turned into the chair, and I was like, huh, well, that's interesting. Now I know what the hell Pete was talking about in Discord. That makes a lot of sense now. But yeah, I definitely had to pause after that whole segment and just gather my thoughts and figure out what the hell was actually going on for a few seconds. So,
Yeah, it was quick. Like he was just like gone, and then he was just a chair, and you're like, oh great, I'm gonna chase a chair around this whole movie.
But the chair turned out like really good, and it was actually one of my favorite characters. I felt like I didn't really want to say it before, but I really enjoyed the chair and the movement of the chair.
I loved it when they were at the apartment of the mom who picked her up, and like
Yeah.
she was like trying to figure out ways to explain a magical talking chair to the kid. She's like, it's a robot with AI. Yeah, that'll work.
Definitely modern.
Definitely. I guess the next thing I guess we can talk about is like imagining. So the fact that they had to imagine the people that once occupied the area and kind of feel their emotions and hear their voices in order to temporarily close and lock the doors. Why do you think this was the way to close doors temporarily? Why do you think they picked that?
I wasn't really sure on this one. I was kind of like maybe a strong emotional connection to the environment, and the people there will help you stop the natural disasters from happening. So like I thought it was something along those lines, but I guess using all those people who, either passed or what, using their emotions to like create a strong lock. I think is what they were going with it.
Okay. I kind of thought like, you know, they did that to kind of make the places not so negative anymore, kind of in a way, and that because and another thing I actually thought of is like you can only shut and lock doors, to like the past stuff if you've actually moved on. And the only way to move on is if you like, I guess, kind of have like the embodiment of what's going on around you like that, um, in order to actually move on. Was kind of the things that I was looking at, but I have no idea. I'm just grasping at straws here. So
Yeah, I had to look into it a little bit, but it made sense from that is the answer I found. So there was a theme that I didn't pick up on where the doors spawned. They always spawned in an abandoned place, and I didn't notice that until I read this. So it said basically the weight of people's feelings is what quells the land. So in all those highly populated areas, doors weren't opening, but all those abandoned places, they were opening and the worms were coming out.
yeah, and that makes sense because like when the mom was actually giving Suzume a ride, like they was talking about the amusement park was shut down and like they couldn't afford to demolish it or anything like that. And she said that a lot of lonely places like that exist these days. And I kind of noticed like that these doors were only like spawning, like you said, in these lonely abandoned places. And it kind of made me think, do they only appear at these places? And like kind of why? Why do they only appear at these places? And I think that kind of answered it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah, watch out for your old, decrepit, defunct malls. There might be an earthquake near them soon.
Oh, jeez. I got one in my town. Now I'm nervous. I'm gonna have to roll up in there with a key.
Oh, they tore ours down and put an Amazon distribution center where it used to be. So I'm
Oh,
good.
you're
There's a
good.
lot of people there now.
listen,
Dan looks out and just sees a worm coming out from the distribution center. He's like, ah, damn
I
it.
ain't got that cool bar level of spiritual awareness. I should be good. I'll just feel little shakes.
as long as you don't hear, do 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 do, I think you're fine. So,
I hear that a good bit. So
well, GG's to you then. But you know, I kind of wanted to ask like a little fun question here. And who are you picking as a babysitter? Is Suzume or Soda?
I feel like I would pick Soda, even as a chair, because once
I
they
second
realized the
that.
chair could move, they stopped being so destructive because they were interested in something. Like Suzume was just trying to clean up after their. I'm trying to think of the right word, like their destruction in this little apartment. Like, you see the scene where she's like stacking up tissues that they ripped out of the boxes and everything else, and I was laughing.
This was almost worse than Wolf Children, bro. Like this
No.
was bad.
No, these kids were just taking advantage of a poor young girl. Wolf children, those kids were just demons.
You know, I really loved those scenes though. It was really funny, especially Suzume's part, because she had no idea how to be a babysitter, and she got pushed into that role. And then Soda just was like, okay, if I don't step in, somebody's probably gonna die. That's where it was going. But I enjoyed it. And then we got the little part about the AI thing, which was really funny. So, but what about you, Kreese? Who would you pick?
Definitely Sota. Suzume just couldn't handle it. She's like, no. But no, Soda's got it. Even as a chair, he tired him out and entertained him. And then even as a human, he's training to be a teacher, so he has all those skills to kind of, handle children.
Yeah.
So either way, he's good. He's got this.
Hey, plus, who's gonna believe them if they say a chair was moving and talking on its own?
Oh,
Right?
no one.
I mean, anyone with a Twitter feed, because this chair was all over Twitter.
But they probably don't know what they're saying either. They probably think it's 2023, bro. That's just AI. So, just AI created it. So, do you think it was, odd that the people seemed to see the cat Degen as a person, and why do you think that actually was?
I don't necessarily think they saw it as a person. It was really more just like a trend on the internet. Like,
Well,
that's why everyone was.
At the bar, they thought it was a
Oh,
person.
Yep.
you're right. Yeah, that had me really fucking confused.
Yeah.
Now, could that have been like drinking as well as like mystical magic mixture?
Well, the bartender said it too.
Oh,
She was
yeah,
like,
shit.
it's a new customer and a big spender.
She was sauced up too, though.
But not that much. And then I think there was like a couple more examples of where people saw it as a humanoid type thing instead of an actual cat. So, but I was just kind of curious because sometimes they seem to think it was a cat, and then other times they seem to think it was human. So it was just I was just kind of wondering, like, why did y'all have like a reason why they did that? So
No, I couldn't think of anything. It didn't even like register like that it happened more than that one time.
yeah, I was really confused about it. So I just had to ask that. And then, like, do you think like the cats resembled yin and yang since it was black and white?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the balance of keeping nature at bay. That's why you had two totems. One was black, one was white. And I thought it was interesting too that when they went Sulong, quote unquote, and like went full battle form, like under the full moon in the other world, like they changed colors. So I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? It changed, the black one changed to white or whatever, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah, but was it Sadaijin? Was that the black cat's name?
yeah, I think so.
Yep.
That full battle form was fucking hard. That shit was sweet. Like I was amped up when he transformed.
Yeah, to take on the worm. That was nice. And it was interesting to see that the black one was so much bigger than the white one. And I wonder if that's because like there's usually more negativity, like that kind of energy in the world than there is good, right? Is that what they're trying to say?
I don't know.
Yeah, that could be a good way of taking it. Yeah, because when that Sadaijin showed up, it was very aggressive in the beginning, and then kind of calmed down as it journeyed with them. So yeah, that could be the take they were going with.
Yeah, it was kind of weird that the black one was kind of trying to carry around and like suppress the white one, like in like I guess make it not But then again, it was kind of lifeless at that point too, right? Because it was sad. I don't know. It's weird. So
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because they had the scene at the hospital with the cat in the window, and I
Oh yeah.
thought they were showing it like as a shadow, but it was going to be the white cat. I thought it was going to be Daijin, not Sadaijin. So that kind of threw me off when there was another cat. Like, so I thought that was a cool way to like, show the how they actually fight the worm. But I was kind of hoping we got to see Daijin go full Sulong mode too and tear up the worm a little bit.
maybe it don't have it in it though.
We
Maybe only the Sadajin can do it.
Well, we saw his bigger form a couple times, but it was only like when he would protect Suzume when they were falling.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely interesting. The way they use the cats and stuff like that. A little bit confusing at times, I feel like. Do you think, like, in your opinion, do you think the worm is supposed to represent anything, resemble anything?
I don't know about resemble, but it really reminded me of like the creepy ass looking spinal cord thing from Attack on Titan.
It did, bro. It did.
It's the founding Titan.
If only it was like Watt.
It's a
and
shame it
not.
didn't bond with Suzume and we just had a Titan fighting earthquakes because
Oh
that would have
my
been a pretty
God.
cool plot point.
Can you imagine?
A,
Well,
tit- a Titan and two cats fighting a giant worm monster personified.
can we get like a fan made thing of that? I wonder. That would be fun. When did when
wor-
did we
The worm just combines with Suzume and all you hear is rumbling.
rumbling? Na, 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 na. Uh, yeah. I guess we really would imagine if this was like the sequel to AOT, bro. Like this, they add this to AOT. So
Nah, the sequel to AOT is gonna have Gundams in it. Don't worry about it.
okay. When did we realize that soda was the new key? When did it click for y'all?
So the first scene where they showed him like freezing up in front of that door,
Yeah.
that's when it clicked to me. I was like, oh, he's the totem. This
Yeah.
sucks. Poor bastard.
Yeah, I think they've done a good job of making us understand that when that happened. I kind of got a feeling that was happening when he wasn't waking up or whatever.
Yeah,
But then
I
I was like,
remember
well, maybe it's just something else. And then when that scene happened, I was like, okay, he's definitely the new key. I was like, this shit's horrible. What about you, Chris? Did you feel the same way?
that. Yeah, when he wasn't waking up initially, and I'm like, oh no, time's ticking now. We're in
Yeah,
trouble.
unfortunately. And then when we found out about the for a way for the living to enter the ever after, and Suzume, planned to go there to save Soda, what did you think was going to happen after that?
So because of the scene in the beginning with her, like as a child in it, I figured there was a way to enter it, and old grandpa confirmed that for us. But that's kind of I was like, okay, so she's gonna go, she's gonna enter it. But I was not expecting her to fall like that into a fiery hellscape of burning towns. Like that kind of threw me off.
That was terrifying.
It did, and like, why do we think that? Like, why do you think that actually like changed to that? Like the fiery village, because we see when you're looking in, even at that time, I think we actually seen like a peaceful like landscape, right? Like a flowery, and then when she got in it, it was fiery and like a fiery village. Like I didn't really understand that, so.
Yeah, my only thinking there is that, because so Suzume, the village she grew up in, was destroyed by an earthquake
Mhm.
and a tsunami. So like my thought process there is like this is what her town looked like after it. And this is like how it's forever like because like I thought that like the ever after was a mirror image. And so like when you talked about memories, I was like, oh, so this is how this town is remembered at this point because it's so depressing. No one lives there anymore because it was destroyed, you know?
Okay. It makes sense. It definitely makes sense. But I wonder why it shows like the flower field landscape when you're looking in it for the first time to make you want to enter it. I wonder.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is those are the questions that like it kind of gets me on. But I actually thought that when we first figured out about this, I actually thought that she was gonna go and try to swap places. That's why I said I thought I had it figured out, the plot figured out, and they surprised me on it, and that actually didn't happen. But you know, going into this, knowing that it was kind of like Weathering with You, that's kind of what happened in Weathering with You. So I was like, this is what's gonna happen. She's gonna go and take his place and just swap out. Basically, I was like, that's gonna be pretty shitty, but it didn't happen like that. So, yeah. What'd you think, Kriegs?
Yeah, I think that when she opened the door, it took her back in time to when her village was, demolished by that earthquake and that awful hellscape. But then I think when she's in the opening scene, when she's 4 years old, I think it was, and she's crying through that field, I think she opened a door when she was young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think maybe time exists in different ways through the ever after. So when she went up back to her hometown, opened the door, all you saw was the misery and pain of what happened when people lived here, and then the worm or natural disaster hit. And then when she was a kid, she was, just crying for her mom. I think she was probably living with her aunt at that time, but
Dude, the scene where she dug up her old journal.
Oh, geez.
And like it was going through the pages that she literally scribbled everything off on because it was just like her trying to forget about her mom. That like broke my heart.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, and I think it's actually showed a few scenes, like fast scenes throughout the show of her actually scribbling them out. And I guess I didn't really understand what was happening until we actually got to that scene. And like you said, it was pretty sad to see that because she wanted to remember what had happened, like and stuff, but at the same time, she made it where she couldn't remember because it was so, I guess, traumatizing to her. So, um, but I guess with all that being said, what did we think of like the ending scenes? The current Suzume meeting the young Suzume, giving her the chair before sending her back through the door, like all that stuff, like the ending of it.
Yeah, that had me like time as a construct in this anime was just like so confusing because like when she gave her the chair and pushed her through the door, it's like she was like that's what actually happened in the past when she was a child. So like I have no idea how time works in this show, but I thought like the way they did it where like that was closure for Suzume and really her coming to terms with what happened to her mother when she was a child. I thought the way they did that was phenomenal.
Yeah. I definitely didn't cry during this moment. I'm not lying. But yeah, it was definitely closure. It helped her move past, a big obstacle, as we could tell. She scribbled it out. She couldn't remember anything of it, all that stuff. And hell, maybe she was even struggling with it, some at that point. But I feel like, after that moment, it helped her get over it, in the past and the current yeah time. So, but it, like you said, it did also present a little confusing thing, but that always seems to happen when you introduce like time, like the time traveling and stuff. So, just a little bit confusing there. So,
Yeah, it's kind of like a little time loop it was kind of weird. Like Suzume had to do that journey to connect to her past, and that confused me a little bit. But I like how it answered the question of the opening scene when she's crying, running through that field looking for her mom. And then I was like, oh, Suzume became her own Patronus, like in Harry Potter. I was like, oh, okay.
Nailed
That's
it.
kind of cool. That's exactly what I thought of when I saw that. I was like, yep, okay. But I liked how he did that.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Any thoughts on like the scene where like as the credits was rolling, you see all the different, I guess, time passing, and then when they meet again. Like, any thoughts about that?
I like how they did it. It's kind of like the same way they did it in Weathering with You, where like they didn't like show anything, which like I like that. I like when they like leave it up to your interpretation almost, where it's not like she jumps off her bike and just runs up to him and hugs and kisses him. Like I like the way he does the endings of his movies a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Especially since they met on the same hill, like that was pretty cute. Like that whole thing, when they met for the first time, it was pretty cute. It's what I would expect from a show like this. So, and
Yeah.
I talked about it a little bit before, about my interpretation of what I thought it meant. So, but
Yeah, I enjoyed on the way back home. Suzume and Tamaki went and they stayed at all the places she went and all the people she met. I was like, all right, that was a little cool connection and trip. It looked like they had a lot of fun.
It was fun seeing them do karaoke at the bar and like everything else. It's like, good. They made up.
So those kids are like, "Where's the AI chair? What AI chair? I don't know what you talking about."
Gone. Given to myself 12 years ago. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully she didn't have to babysit that time. Maybe the aunt helped her out if she did. So, but it also kind of showed her. In my opinion, I thought it kind of showed her dedicating her life to trying to be a nurse too. Like we seen the books. It didn't really say for certain, but I think it led us to believe that she wanted to kind of go down that path like her mom was. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But speaking of like her mom, what do we actually think happened to her mom?
She died?
I think she died in that earthquake.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My head canon is that she was used as a key.
So you think there's another key?
Like maybe she was used as one of those keys at one point in time or something like that. Or maybe she was a closer because not everybody can just see those doors, right? So why is Suzume the only one that can see those doors? Maybe because her family is a closer type too.
Well, that now she's hooking up with her cousins, so that's really awkward.
But it doesn't have to be the same family though, right? Like maybe he doesn't know about her like family, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I was getting those vibes for a lot of the movie, like thinking like, oh, maybe this is why Suzume can see this stuff is because she also her family can do the same thing. And I was like, oh, maybe her mom is like stuck in the ever after or something. And we're gonna get a really happy ending. But no, she dead.
Yeah, I just kind of wonder like if she was actually because we got the two different keys or whatever, right? So why can't there be two different like closer families or whatever? And that would be really cool to see that. And I honestly think that it's something like that because why else would little Suzume be able to go through a damn door or be able to see through a door like that? Like not just anybody can go through that, like see and go through that door, right?
So they kind of explained that when she was talking to the grandfather. He said that you must have experienced something with the ever after when you were a child. And I think she just stumbled across this door that was just in the middle of a field. And like as a kid, like you're gonna open that and be curious and walk through it.
Yeah.
And he said that you could only walk through one door out of all the ones that exist. So
yeah, so she successfully went in and came out, so that's kind of why she can see the worms.
Interesting. I wonder if like that carries on now, you know. Um but I guess to get into a little bit of some questions from the Discord. Pete wanted us to know wanted us to answer if simping for a chair is morally okay.
My God.
Okay, so I don't know about Pete, but I have a really nice office chair. And like when I've had to sit in bad chairs, like I yearn for my chair. I want
But
that ergonomic support.
do you simp for it though?
I don't simp over many things.
Like, have you ever felt yourself wanting to kiss it?
Maybe once. I'm
Why?
just kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, morally, like, there's probably like something wrong somewhere if you're probably simping over chairs.
I mean, there's
Possibly?
a very weird TLC show about people who love inanimate objects, and like there's a guy who bones his car. So like
Oh, I've heard of that. Oh, I've heard of that.
How?
Right in the exhaust pipe.
in the tailpipe.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Oh,
dead
yeah.
serious. Dead serious.
Nice.
Well, okay.
And it's not even like a nice car. It's like a 1998 like Pontiac Fiero or something. But so here's the question though: is like you're not simping for the chair, you're simping for the dude who got turned into a chair. Because
True.
Soto was a pretty good looking guy, you know. Like I can't really blame her for wanting to get a piece of that closer booty, you know. Like good for her, but just sucks that he got turned into a chair.
But would your if you was Suzume, would your opinion of him change after he changed into a chair? Would you see him the same way after he changed into a chair, or even after he came back as a human? Because he was once a chair.
I think she did.
But would you?
Oh, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, he's
Turn
to human.
back.
And you know, maybe like she was going like the Sleeping Beauty route, you know, when the chair wasn't waking up, you know, she's like, oh, maybe if I give it a kiss.
Yeah. Yeah, she did do that. So I just thought of something. There's an anime called Eden Zero where one of the villains, he captures all these YouTubers and pretty women and he turns them into inanimate objects. So technically you can simp for the furniture because once they turn back, they're all beautiful women.
But there's always a possibility they don't turn back. So I mean, like,
yeah,
like,
but there's also guys who simp over like figurines of anime chicks. So like, what's so bad about a talking, walking chair? You know, at least that has a personality.
Yeah,
Okay.
who would have figurines of anime chicks on their bookshelf?
I've only got Whitebeard up there.
Oh, dude, mine's bad. You've seen my collection.
I have.
Well, I guess that kind of brings us to our next question from Discord. Pete again with the question. He's always asking the questions that are need to know. This is, you know, we need to know these things. Where do we actually draw the line on simping for inanimate objects? If chairs are okay, then where do we draw that line?
Well, no, chairs are not okay. People turned into chairs are okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's got to be a person who gets turned into a chair or an inanimate object, like where they can talk and walk and move around.
So it's not okay if it's just a chair or an inanimate object. It has to be a person in that chair.
I mean, there's a whole show about the weirdos who simp over inanimate objects. So yeah, it's got to have a personality, I think.
Well, I feel like we're going to get a different answer from Kriegs.
I mean, unless it's a really curvy piece of driftwood and I've been stuck in the woods for 3 years.
Curvy piece of driftwood. Oh my god.
That's from Rick and Morty.
So I guess when people buy those anime body pillows, does that fall into that category?
Oh yeah.
It's inanimate, right?
Yeah, but that's fucking weird.
But people buy them. I don't.
Yeah, and it's weird.
Okay, so we got those mouse pads. You got the booby mouse pads. That's a thing too. You got the body pillows. I'm trying to think of other stuff that's like crossing the line, but not really, but sort of.
The very erotic figurines.
Yeah. Who would have those?
Well, yours are like normal. I'm talking like the one with like you can take the clothes off Aaron Yeager and you just got like a fucking hog for a dick.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, I've seen that.
I've seen the ones where you can detach the shirts and put the nipples on. I'm like, what the hell?
It's just weird,
High School
man.
DxD has a couple of those figurines.
Nice.
How does that even look though? That probably looks weird.
I'm just imagining.
Right?
So like the figurine.
No, it looks like a normal figurine.
No, I mean like the nipples.
Oh no!
Oh
so
yeah,
here's
the
what I'm
attachment
thinking.
piece is kind of weird. Yeah.
Here's what I'm thinking is that like when you pull the shirt off, it just leaves 2 holes in the nipples that you put actual nipples into. I wouldn't know. I don't have any of these.
Yeah, I can't. I can't bring that figurine home and look my wife in the eye.
I can't
I'd get in
bring a lot of
trouble.
those. If I had your collection, my wife would have a lot of questions for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I balance it out though, because I have like muscular men too, so it's not all
Don't worry.
one-sided.
I like these ones more. It's just like shirtless Zora with his 44-inch bust.
Yeah, I mean, I got a shirtless Katakuri over there, so.
Hey, Katakuri, okay. But yeah, I think I'm along the lines with Creeks on this. Like, I feel like so the body pillows, and stuff like that. Like, it's not like super weird unless you're like using it like
as a body pillow.
if you got it in the bed, like cuddling it, and you think that if you're actually like if you're simping for it like that, that's a little bit out there. So, but I mean, just having body pillows, I don't think that's too bad. It's just when you start thinking about it in
having
different
a
ways.
body pillow is fine. Having a body pillow with Mikasa and a bikini is weird.
And you sleep next to it. Not.
No, I think just having that in general is weird.
Yeah. So I don't know.
He's like, let me hide my body pillows that are clearly in the back of my room right now.
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, people are just trying to take the 2D experience into a 4D experience. It's cool.
I won't yuck anybody's yum, but I'll say it's fucking weird.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, there's some weird stuff out there, but I mean, I guess to each their own. As long as it ain't affecting me. So
all I can think of is that TikTok creator who has the Mikasa body pillow, and he's like, "Table for 2, please, for me and Milady," and just holding like a Mikasa pillow.
God.
Yep. Well,
that's hilarious.
That would be where I draw the line. That right there. Yeah.
Okay, so what do we feel about the booby mouse pads then?
Those are just funny.
Okay, all right.
That's just funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how people use that though. You know what I mean?
It's ergonomic, dude.
The boobs just sit on your wrist, and then you just kind of.
Yeah, like if we did a Secret Santa and I got Kevin as like my person, I would probably get him a booby mouse pad because it'd be really funny.
Oh yeah.
But But which girl would you get him?
Ooh,
that's a tough one.
I gotta think about that a little bit, but my inkling would be my girl Robin.
That'd be a good one. They actually have those. I know a place. They also got they got Food Wars. They got Don Machi. They got Oragaru.
He's been on it for a couple years.
maybe Lucy from Fairy Tale.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. I saw an Esdeath one, Dan.
Oh,
talk to me.
I'll be down for that too. So
yeah, actually, I just want the feet so I can like put them on top of me and pretend I'm getting stepped on.
Well, okay. What if you got a body pillow of just her like legs and her feet?
No, because I need like a heel on there, something to really dig into me with some weight.
Well, you could probably make that
as
happen.
I grovel. Give me Hibana. Give me Hibana from Fire Force. Yeah.
But
that's the one.
But yeah, I guess that's kind of where we draw the line at. I mean, I don't know. That's it's a weird subject. So, inanimate objects. I don't think we'll ever have to worry about people turning into inanimate objects. So, right? Hopefully.
I don't think so.
Well,
I mean, with where technology is going, you might be able to put on a headset and become an inanimate object.
oh, I thought you was gonna start talking about robots, and I was like, ain't that what's his name? What anime does? What Chobits? Right?
Showbits?
Yeah.
It sounds like a kid's like toy line that they use in anime to sell.
Do you know
Like a
about that,
Beyblade.
Kriegs?
Chobits?
Yeah, Chobits.
I've heard of it.
Oh, okay.
But back to the body pillow news. I have an Esdeath body pillow, $70.
That's expensive.
It's her in her white bikini.
Dad
Weird.
said we're not drawing the
Weird.
line there anymore.
No, the line isn't drawn in sand. It is drawn in stone. Like it is not moving.
I also have an Arena one in a very questionable pose. Jesus.
Well, awesome. You guys want to get a little cozy with our body pillows?
This is the body
why
pillow
not?
hour now.
Why not?
That's what the B is. It's not ball, it's body pillow shit. Well, awesome. So that was our review and takes on Suzume. If you guys haven't checked out the movie yet, I think we all are in agreement. Definitely do it. It was an awesome experience. But now it's time to get a cup of hot cocoa. And we're going to curl up next to our fireplace in a nice bearskin rug and talk about some of the cozy animes we love to put on now that we're getting into the colder part of the season. So, Krieg, since you are a guest, you want to just go in first?
Sure, I will get started. So, I think we all did 3 cozy animes, just kind of what we like having on. So, I was kind of going with like a combo of like kind of a cozy slice of lifey, and then also I picked one that was cozy to me personally. Like it's not really a cozy anime, it's different. But the first one I picked was K-On! Now, this one is a Kyoto Animation anime, and this was made back in, I think, 2009. So basically, it's basically just about 4 high school girls who join the light music club at an all-girls private school. And the main character, I think her name is Yui. She's
Chewy.
running
I like that
around.
name.
Yeah, I know you do. She's running around trying to join a club because for some reason, I don't know if it's like mandatory in Japanese high school, you have to be a part of a club.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the light music club there's only 3 members. So they're about to get closed down because you have to have 4. So she joins this club and she doesn't know how to play an instrument. So then they're like, oh, well, you can be our lead guitarist. So they basically just kind of get her to join and get her a guitar. But the funny thing about this anime is nothing really happens. It's just cute girls being cute girls. I don't know how to explain it.
Is this Bochi?
So there's been a lot of parallels to Bochi. I've personally not watched Bochi the Rock. I need to. But yeah, Bochi the Rock gets paralleled with this a lot.
Yeah, you definitely need to watch Bochi if you like that. And it sounds like I need to watch K-On! I always thought it was like an idol thing. So
So no, it's Dan would hate this. It's high school girls,
yeah, I'm sure.
Slice of life, nothing happens. And it's moe.
Yeah, moe.
Do they actually make good music?
So here's the funny part. There's a couple concert scenes and like was it the school festival, but the openings and endings are absolute bangers. Like the way they I can't remember what the one ending's called, Don't Be Lazy. The way they animate it and they have the music notes going in the background and they dress like rockers, you don't skip that ending.
Okay.
So it sets you up thinking this is going to be a kick-ass music anime, and then you start watching it and just like, hey, let's go get a guitar. Okay. Oh, I don't need to buy it because Mugi's family owns the guitar shop, so I get it for free. All right, let's go on a summer camp training trip. Oh, we didn't play any music at all. We just hung out at the beach the whole time. So then the common joke is they always eat cake and drink hot tea. They like never practice.
So, like, does she actually learn how to play guitar, or like?
Yes. So the first like year, she's learning how to play the guitar. You know, because she's coming from nothing to something. But then they eventually, you know, they start doing shows. So it's 2 seasons, 2 OVAs, and then a movie that kind of wraps up the series. But yeah, I definitely think Tyler would like this. Dan, you would not like this at all. So it's on High Dive if anyone wants to watch it.
No, you've already explained that I'm not gonna like it because like High Dive is just garbage.
Hey man, it's a lot of Sentai film
on it though.
Bro, they got Origaru on there.
Yeah.
Goated. They used to have they used to have the first 3 seasons of Food Wars, but then they took them off for some reason.
They got one still on there, not season 1, but they got one of the seasons still on there.
Season 3?
Probably, it sounds right.
3, 4, and 5 are on Crunchyroll. 1 is on Hulu, and 2 is not on the internet legally.
Easy, man.
So like, I got annoyed because I like have been watching Food Wars, and I had to go find it. I had to go sail the high seas to find season 2.
Yeah, jeez, kind of makes it a little frustrating there.
But yeah, that K-On! It literally sound. I can understand what people are talking about because it literally sounds like a copy of Bocchi the Rock, except for Bocchi like it does like the antisocial slash nervous, shy and awkward girl joins a band group kind of, and they, you know, have like these concerts or whatever a couple times, and like the first concert we actually seen, like the visuals of the concert was like amazing. Like the point of view and the perspectives that they used was like top tier shit, bro. Like you should definitely watch it. It was running alongside of Chainsaw Man during fall of last year as my top anime of fall. So like, it was up there with Chainsaw Man. So
here's my question though: is you're saying it sounds like a ripoff of Bocchi the Rock, but this came first.
Yeah, this came out back in the day.
Yeah, he said that they just sit around and eat cake and drink tea and not practice. Well, Bocchi is like a famous guitarist on YouTube, but that's like, but in real life circumstances, she has extreme social anxiety. You know, so even though she's like the guitar hero online, like she has a hard time performing on a stage, kind of. She has to overcome that. Like she literally has to like put bags over her head and shit like that in order to play. So
she's
like,
she's
it's
Buckethead.
Yeah. it's Moe type shit, but like in a really fun way. Like it's a really fun, interesting show. So
Bocchi kind of sounds like they took Comey and K-On! And a little bit of Beck and mashed them all up.
Kinda, yeah, kinda. Except Bocchi can talk, but it's got some like fun, fun facial expressions and stuff like that. So you would definitely like it, Kriegs.
All right, I'll add that to my list then. Dan's like, I will not be adding K-On! Or Bocchi to my list.
I got enough to watch.
Do I go next, or do you want to break up the Moe, Dan?
We can break up the Moe a little bit. So I didn't actually pick like a specific show for my first one, but just give me a Ghibli film. Yeah. Any of them. I don't care. They're all great. And they're all like the way like they're just, the characters are always like cute and cozy or badass, which I like both of. And like I just always have really fond memories of watching Ghibli films for the first time. So like if I'm thinking like, I'm gonna go sit and like, you know, curl up in a blanket with a cup of tea, like give me that feeling again, you know? And there's so many good ones. Like, I mean, I've probably watched Spirit Away a million times. So like that'd be the first one I'd go to. But you know, I just think it's something you can watch for a couple hours without like getting bored.
Spirited Away, like every time I think about Spirited Away, I think about the heads, bro. Like the pet heads. You know what I
The
mean? They're
dogs.
rolling around. Yeah, the doggies. That's my favorite. That's my favorite character of Spirited Away. Was the heads.
But like, I think the first time I watched Ponyo, it was like we had a big snowstorm and I shoveled for like 2 hours that day. And I came in and like I took like a warm shower, like grabbed a hot cup of tea or cocoa. I can't remember. And like I just got in bed and watched Ponyo, and it was awesome.
Yeah, Ghibli's great, man. Spirited Away, I feel that. I remember was it 2006? I was 14 when it premiered on Cartoon Network, and that's when I first watched. I still remember the commercial. Cartoon Network is proud to present Spirited Away.
Oh, we watched that I had a multicultural class in middle school. So I watched it like 6th grade, like during school.
That's awesome.
And I was like super hyped about it. And everyone's why do you care? It's a cartoon. I'm like, nah, this ain't a cartoon. This is fucking anime.
Y'all sit down.
Behave yourself.
Yeah, you guys talked about Spirited Away on the podcast, and maybe we wanted to watch it again. I've seen it so many times, but I was like, I'm watching this again.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, it's this time of the year again, and now we got another Ghibli film. Is it Ghibli?
Yeah.
Miyazaki is Ghibli. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Boy and the Heron, it's coming out like what? I guess the day of when this episode releases. I
Yeah,
think.
they have listings in my local theaters already. So
Yeah. So I guess if y'all haven't seen it, like it's a good time, I guess, to go see Boy and the Heron in theaters and get some cozy anime going. But is that all you got for yours, Dan?
Yeah.
Alrighty. I guess I'll go with my first one. It's the Yuzuki Family's Four Sons, and it's a slice of life. It's made by Studio Shuka, which I'm not really familiar with. I don't think they're very like established is what I would think, because I don't know them. So but I could be wrong. But this is a fall show. It's currently airing right now. Has anybody heard of it?
I have heard of it. I have no idea what it's about.
Okay.
Yeah, you've talked about it a lot, and you've told me to watch it probably 15 times now.
Or are you gonna watch it?
I don't know, maybe.
Only if there's a body pill of a character.
No, they're young boys. I don't want a body pillow with that.
Dan's like, no, stop.
So I guess to kind of explain what it's about, the Yuzuki family, which is made up of 4 brothers. They lost their parents a few years ago, so the eldest one is taking it upon himself to become their guardian. He's like fresh out of school. He's actually a teacher at their school. I think he's a middle school teacher is what it makes him to be, but he's not a teacher over 2 other like middle age kids, the brothers, because they're in middle school as well. And then there's a younger one that's actually like I guess what they would be elementary school for us. I'm not sure how the school system works over there. It's kind of weird, but he becomes their guardian while pursuing a career in teaching. And this is basically this story is basically their daily lives as they like learn to be a family, again, without their parents, like learn how to live without that, going to school and kind of interacting with like neighbors and community and their friends at school. So it's a slice of life. The show is really funny. And most of the time it's really funny, but it's still very grounded. Like it could be like relatable to a lot of people, I feel like, especially if you had like siblings growing up, especially if you had more than one sibling. It's just the type of show that kind of makes me feel good, while I'm watching it. And I feel like that's kind of a show that you would want to be sitting in front of a fireplace watching, in my opinion. It's one of the favorite shows of this season for me. So, but yeah, I know Kriegs would really enjoy this. I really think Dan would like it, just because it's lighthearted, but it still is grounded, and what it's trying to say and tell. So, and it's also got a 7.66 on Mouse, so it's not that bad. But
Nice.
Yeah. You know me, I enjoy my slice of life, so.
yeah, the boys, all of the boys, they're very interesting and unique characters. They look like little. Let me tell you who they look like. They look like little Mashless running around. That's who they look like. It looks
Really
like 4 Mashless running around. But
nice.
yeah, so I guess that's it for my Yozuki family's 4 sons. I guess it's Krieg's turn for his number 2.
Okay. My second one is an anime called Teasing Master Takagi-san. So this is like a romance comedy slice of life. So basically, these middle school students, Nishikata and Takagi, sit next to each other in class. Takagi, who is the girl, enjoys teasing Nishikata with embarrassing pranks, jokes, and in response, Nishikata's like, "Man, I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her, man. I'm gonna get my revenge." But every time he fails, he gets outwitted. She takes advantage of his weakness. She backs him into a corner and capitalizes on it every time. And then every once in a while, Takagi will like lose, but then Nishikata doesn't feel like he really won. So basically, it's just these two kids just going to school. Takagi's clearly has feelings for Nishikata, and as this goes on, he starts understanding his feelings for Takagi. So this was actually a manga that just ended its 10-year run. It went from June 2013 to October 2023.
Okay.
And the anime has 3 seasons. And just how like you were trying to watch Food Wars, Dan, this one is all over the place. I think season 1's on Netflix, season 2's on Crunchyroll, season 3 is on High Dive. It's all
Jesus.
over the place. And oh, sorry, you can go, Tyler.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you had to say if this was better or worse than Don't Toy With Me, what would you say to that?
I think this one is more wholesome and innocent than Don't Toy With Me, because Don't Toy With Me definitely takes on a more adult and ecchi approach because that creator is a hentai artist as well.
Oh, that explains it. Because Don't Toy With Me, I've tried to watch that before, but I couldn't really get into it. Like, but I don't really know why I couldn't get into it. It just didn't flow good enough for me. I thought it was gonna be like more romance, I guess, but it wasn't. So, do you think that teasing master, I forget what you said.
Takagi-san.
Yeah, do you think that would be like a better fit?
Yeah, this is definitely more wholesome romance, just kids in school. The main I would say the main setting for this is them walking to and from school, and then when they're sitting next to each other in school.
Okay.
But
Is
yeah,
this, would you like kind of compare this to like the Yuzaki-chan wants to hang out, kind of roughly?
yeah, a little bit. So yeah, Yuzaki-chan, Nagatoro, and Takagi are kind of a similar idea.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say you couldn't get in Nagatoro. Uzaki-chan, I did not like it. I tried it. I didn't think it was funny. I was like, this is dumb. And then I watched Nagatoro. I'm laughing, and it's essentially the same thing. And I don't know why.
Yeah, I haven't really like watched a whole lot of Yuzaki-chan either. But I feel like that one was more laid back than Don't Toy With Me. And I've never tried to watch Teasing Master Takagi-san, so I was just kind of curious where they kind of fit together.
Yeah, this is definitely, to me, this is the definition of cozy. It's just cute, like kids having crushes on each other. Dan would love it. Just kidding.
You never
yeah.
know.
This one I can put on the dub and just, have it on in the background. I like watching it, and, just watching Nishikata every time gets outwitted, and it cracks me up. I'm like, how did you not see yourself walking into that one?
Yeah. I feel like if Dan was going to like something like that, it would be Kaguya-sama.
Oh, I love Kaguya-sama.
Like
Oh,
that would have a chance, a shot at Dan liking it, just because I think the comedy hits pretty decent.
You
Yeah.
said the same thing about Rent a Girlfriend, and I wanted to like gouge my eyes out with spoons.
Rent a Girlfriend's different than Love is War. Rent a Girlfriend is trash, and we all knew it's trash, and it knows it's trash.
So Kaguya-sama is not trash. I'm pretty sure on Mal, it's a top 20 show.
Yeah. Like the latest season is in the 9s, I think, right?
Yes.
Off the top of my head. So,
and the manga is finished, so the story's done.
Yeah.
And they nailed it. But yeah, I like that one.
It's got Chika,
Oh my god, Hayasaka is my favorite character. She cracks me up. Okay, I feel like I'm diverting. We should not be talking about Kaguya-sama right now.
This is where Dan's supposed to step in, and he has failed to do so.
No,
Well, so for my next show,
it's Kaguya-sama Love is War.
It is not. So I was trying to think on this one. I thought for a while on it. And so I'm a snowboarder. So I go spend 8 hours of my day outside, like every weekend in the winter, basically freezing my ass off to go shred the gnar, And every time I come in after that, I always find myself leaning towards comedies. Like, it's not a snowboarding trip if I don't watch Talladega Nights or something from Will Ferrell, like after one day, So that got me thinking, what's the funniest anime I know? And you guys know exactly where I'm going with this. It's Gintama.
Yeah.
And if I need a nice cozy day after a long day on the board, I'm going Gintama. I'm finding something funny. And I think the episode I'm picking to stay festive with our winter theme is the episode where they're all Santa.
Oh my god.
And they're just arguing over who's the real Santa, even though none of them are. It is hilarious, and that's the vibe I'm looking for.
Makes sense. When I think of funny anime, like the first thing that comes to my head is always Gintama. Even though I've only watched a handful of episodes, it's still always Gintama. I guess that just goes to show you like how well known Gintama actually is and what it's about. So.
Yeah, to me that is the funniest anime I have ever watched. And audio listeners can't see it, but I have a Gintama poster right in my background. But yeah, it's just so out of pocket. All the references they make, it's a real treat. If you watch a bunch of anime, it's a treat to watch this and pick up on all the references and just laugh along the whole thing.
Well, like the other thing with it too is it's not plot intensive. So like,
oh no,
you can just pick a random episode, and most of them, besides like the few arcs that are more than like 2 episodes, it's like you watch 2 episodes, then you're on to something else. So like, you don't really need to like know what's going on. Like, it's not like you have to start on episode 1 if like you just wanted to like put it on and laugh your ass off for a bit,
Yeah. And I wish it had like more readily like available dubbed episodes, because I feel like that it would hit just as hard probably.
Dude, the
like
dub is so bad.
Really? Well,
The
but
dub is bad.
In its own way though, that's actually funny, you know what I mean?
No, the company who did the dub,
yeah,
like changed plot lines, like randomly added lines about like The Rock and like the most stupid shit to it, which is hilarious. But it takes away from the story.
I think a lot of the issue is a lot of the jokes don't translate well.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think that's probably the issue with the dub. I've never watched it myself, the dub, but I watched the sub and I'm cracking up.
Oh, you should watch like the first few episodes of the dub. It's just so funny. It's like they're just like all like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and it's like what the
fuck. Yeah. I definitely plan on watching more Gintama. So I do watch a couple episodes every now and then, but it's a long one. So as the boys know, so
Yeah, it's been on the back burner for a little bit for me now, just because like I haven't had time to sit down and really just like watch a bunch of shows. So I'm hoping, I can get back on the Gintama train pretty soon.
I think the next season isn't gonna hit as hard. So like
Huh?
I feel like the next season compared to this
Oh,
season,
yeah. No, I
you
don't
know.
see a lot on the winter lineup that really gets me excited. Like, there's not a lot out there next season, so I'll probably get to finish up Gintama pretty quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think that we might have more time on our hands come next season. So
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would not mind that. There's so many shows we're watching right now.
I know. I have like 9,
yeah,
and
it's
Yeah,
it's
bad.
yeah, it's rough.
But is it my turn?
yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well, I promise y'all we're not gonna go on a huge rant about
You
this
already had the
show.
rant.
Yeah, we already did before. And so my next cozy show that like I enjoy like just watching from time to time is Kimi no Todoki, which is From Me to You. It's got 37 episodes out right now. It's going to have a third season coming soon. I think maybe next year, if I'm correct. Mal is setting at 8 and 7.98 for season 1 and 2. Come out in like 2009, 2011, I believe. Production IG Studio, just one of my favorite studios. If you believe it or not, it's got Haikyuu, Kimi no Todoki, like just quite a bit of other good shows that I really like. This is a pure romance anime, and it follows the life of Sawako, who is known for her resemblance to the girl in the Ring series. She's a very timid and sweet girl, but most are actually scared of her because of this misunderstanding. Except for one person, Kazuhaya, who happens to be one of the most popular boys in her class. And this begins her new journey to make new friends at her school, make new impressions, all that good stuff. And this show is just so wholesome. It's so good. Like it's got one of my favorite tropes. If y'all listen to the tropes episode, the popular kid starts a relationship with the underdog slash unpopular person. This is what happens in this one. Um, I can't get enough of it, and this one does it so well. Um, and I'm so excited that a third season is coming, and like in anticipation of the third season, I've actually like started watching the live action, and like it's really good, honestly, and it makes me want to rewatch the anime again too. So, and read the manga.
It's pretty crazy that like one of your favorite cozy animes is just a subplot point from Undead Unluck.
No, but you got it wrong. See, you're trying to trigger me now. You're trying to trigger a rant.
And we do not want to talk about this because they brought it up again.
Yeah, they brought it up again. He read all 101 manga volumes of From Me to You, not From You to Me.
Which cracks me up because the original story is 30 volumes. So I'm like, I guess I missed a lot of story
Yeah.
here.
Well, it's in the Undead and Unluck world, it didn't get canceled because it was bad. So I'm just kidding.
You know how many people you're gonna piss off with that statement? Kimi no Todoki is like a staple.
The manga
in the
finished,
romance.
the anime just didn't. Which I was shocked when they announced that was coming back. I think I tweeted at you, Tyler.
Yeah.
I was like, did you see this?
Yeah, so excited.
Yeah.
When I think of like romance animes, like pure romance animes, Kimi no Todoki has to be a staple, right?
Oh
It just
yeah,
has to
definitely.
be. Yeah.
It's a really good like coming of age too. Like people start, they're struggling with like, romance for the first time. Big theme is what am I gonna do with the rest of my life? Because they're going through high school and then they have to graduate. They got to make big life decisions, and it's just a really good read. I read the whole thing and I loved it.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna read this soon as well because I don't even think the third season probably will finish it, right? So
No, I don't
yeah,
think so.
yeah. So I'll definitely have to read it. Which I've been trying to read some romance kind of stuff here lately. I've been spending some time. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that's one of my favorite romances of all time, and it's definitely it belongs on my pick of cozy animes because Kimi no Todoke is just so cute, so wholesome, and so good. So, but I don't, Crease, I think you're next. You can give us another. Well, I would say Moe, but I know what you're gonna choose.
Yeah, I went away. I went away with the Moe. So I went one that's personally cozy to me, but I don't think it's a cozy genre. So I think this is pretty well known in the anime community. It's called Fairy Tale. So a little quick recap. This basically follows the journey of I would say Lucy. There's a debate. I'm saying it's Lucy Artfilia as the main character. She's a young celestial wizard in the Kingdom of Fiore, and she wants to join a guild, but not any guild. The guild known as Fairy Tale. They're always getting in trouble. They're rambunctious. She loves Mira Jane is always on the cover of Sorcerer's Weekly. She thinks she's beautiful.
My dream
And
job.
yeah, oh yeah, that guy, that cameraman's having a great time. Um, and by fate, she runs into Natsu Dragneel, who happens to be a wizard of Fairy Tale, and their lives, are changed forever as they meet. Fateful encounter, typical shonen trope. But I watched this, gosh, back when Funimation had they had no properties. This was before streaming, when you had to buy the DVDs or buy the Funimation channel. I don't know if anyone remembers doing that on cable. I think in 2010, I was in college. I started watching it, and I've just kept up and read with this ever since until the end. And I've watched it multiple times. I love it. I literally have a tattoo of Fairy Tale on my thigh. It's just cozy and comfortable to watch. And now I know there's a lot of ass pulls and Power of Friendship, but I still love it.
Hey man, it's great.
Such a great anime.
Fairy Tale is like it's like a guilty pleasure for me. Like it's like it's not like the best shonen, but it's just so fucking good.
Oh, so great. Yeah, because this was coming out around the time. The big three were all out, and it was trying to poke its head in there, and then people were like, "No, get out of here."
Yeah, well, it was like what 2009 or 2008 when it started, so it was like right at the tail end.
Let me look it up real quick.
It was right at the tail end of like Ship It In and like Bleach and One Piece forever, but
yep, 2009.
I kind of picked up the gap that was there for a little bit while we were waiting for like AOT and some of these other big shows to come in. And I remember I started watching Fairy Tail pretty close to when you did, because it was like I finished up Naruto, and that was like my next show that I binged after that. And I loved it, man. It's like this is one of the few shows that's like made me tear up. And it's only because the goddamn soundtrack makes you just feel so sad.
Yeah, they have excellent soundtrack and music. The OSTs are really well done.
Oh, there's some of the best openings in anime. They're all heaters.
Yeah, there's 26 openings, and I think it's 329 episodes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, I started Fairy Tail again a little while back, and I think I got like 130 episodes into it before I sidelined it. But it's a fun, quick, easy watch. And I think we have a rough idea of when the sequel's coming out, so I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah, I've been reading that. I was so happy when they announced that.
Oh, they actually got the finale coming out sometime soon?
Yeah, so...
No. Well, it finished, and then there's a 100-year quest.
So, I don't want to say too much to anybody who hasn't watched it or is interested, but basically, when it ends, they kind of mention something.
Okay.
And then the sequel or the continuation of the story is that thing they mention. I'm trying to not say anything.
I already said 100 to your quest, so
Yeah,
it's
all right,
good.
fine. You have to watch the show to know what that means.
Yeah,
what that entails.
Yeah, gotta go get that S-class badge, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, so I know Dan likes this one. I don't know. Tyler, have you watched Fairy Tail at all? Or?
No, I haven't watched it yet. Not yet.
I've been trying to get him to watch it.
Yeah, that is, oh god, such a treat.
And cannons for days on these fine female.
Oh yes, so yeah, the women are all drawn very beautifully.
Yeah, Hiro, is that Mashimoto?
Hiro Mashima.
Mashima. He's got an art style that I can approve of.
Dan talks about it a lot.
I love Fairy Tail, dude. It's like my guilty pleasure show. Like, I know it's not the best show in the world by any means, but it does such a good job making like you like feel for the characters and everything like that. So
Yep, I'm looking at all the figurines of the main team right down there. So I have them on the bookshelf.
Is there a happy?
No, I don't have a happy one. I've got Wendy, Urza, Natsu, Lucy, and Gray.
Gotta get yourself a Happy the cat.
Oh wait, actually I do have a happy. It's a happy stuffed toy on my door.
Nice.
I forgot about that. I bought that a long time ago.
See, at least I know half of those people though. I ain't totally ignorant, so.
Nah, Fairy Tail's a very well-known one in the anime community.
Definitely. Awesome. So for my next one, I've got pre-time skip One Piece. And it's cozy because it just makes you feel some fucking type of way, you know? Like, it's just funny. It's a sense of adventure, and like I could go back and watch that over and over and over again. So that's kind of what I look for. Like, it's one of those shows that I can turn on, and I can turn it on dubbed and just have it on in the background and be laughing, you know?
Yeah. Especially like later on, and in my opinion, like after Alabasta, like that's when I like to watch it like dubbed or whatever again. So
Yeah, I literally had, if I was going to pick an arc to start on, it'd probably be Orange Town, because you can get past some of the introduction stuff, and then our boy Buggy's there. So like, I'm gonna be laughing my ass off watching Buggy get his ass kicked.
Yeah, oh Buggy. I'm so glad we got to see like Buggy's shenanigans again in like the latest episodes. So
I was crying, dude.
It's just great.
Crocodile just beating the shit out of him.
I love it.
I love how his crew's just ready to abandon him too. He's like, "Well, I'll serve Crocodile. That's cool." Like, you guys have no loyalty whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, can you blame him though? You know, so it's Buggy, man.
Buggy just keeps failing up, and man, is he lucky.
Yo,
hey, man.
When did I compared Usopp to him? Usopp fails up too. Kinda.
So, Usopp is like, he's like a human spoiler too. All his lies come true. And then Usopp's just, I don't know what he is. He's just clutch. He always, he's that, he comes in the fourth quarter and throws the touchdown pass to win the game. I don't know how, but he is.
It's Usopp has the strongest observation hockey in One Piece. That's why he knows his lies all come true, because he sees them.
Oh, there we go.
He's got that future sight on steroids.
That's why his name is God Usopp.
Go D, bro. Go D.
Go D, Usopp.
And Buggy D Clown.
Yeah, then Kai D.O.
Oh, no.
Watch One Piece, y'all. Watch One Piece.
Great. It's awesome.
But I guess to follow up Peak Piece, I guess I'll get into Ore Monogatari, which is my love story. 24 episodes, one season. Mal is 7.9. Come out in 2015 by Studio Madhouse. It is another fluffy romance. This is the kind of things that I feel like is, cozy to me. But this love story kind of follows Takio. a very muscular and tall guy who is also very kind and has a heart of gold. But unfortunately for Takio, his appearance makes it very hard to have any kind of relationship because most girls think of him as a beast or a monster because he's so big and tall. It doesn't help that his best friend is like a chick magnet either. But one day he meets someone that sees him for who he actually is. And this is like the epitome of wholesome, in my opinion. This was, I believe, my first shoujo ever. On my journey. Uh, Very cute, very pure romance story. Like there really ain't a whole lot of negatives that happen, like tension points that happen either. It's like straight line, like romance, happy. I would say. You agree with that, Kriegs?
Yeah, so I have watched this as well, and this is a very wholesome, cutesy, and the nice part about this is I know a lot of people don't like when romances just draw out and no one's confessing. This one, you get a very quick confession. I think is it episode 3? I can't remember. I haven't watched it in a long time, but yeah, you got this huge, muscular 6 foot. I think he's 6'7" guy, and this short little Rinko who's under 5 foot, and it's just so cute and wholesome watching them as they go through their relationship.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, it toys around with the fact that you know, that his thought process and how he feels, and then how he perceives what's happening, but he gets it wrong, you know, and it kind of makes you think wrong too, and then it actually happens, and you're like, oh shit, this is so awesome, you know. This guy is, you know, finally got a, you know, someone who actually cares for him, and like, it's just really, it just makes me feel really good. Every time I watch this show, I've watched it a few times. Obviously, it holds a very special place in my heart since it was my first like pure romance show, and it was just so like wholesome and, you know, cute. And plus, you know, it's got one of them tropes, you know, like, you know, the underdog, and yeah, I just can't get away from that, you know. But if you ever want to give like the fluffy, you know, pure romance things a try, My Love Story is a perfect start, in my opinion. Really perfect. Even better than Kimi no Todoki, I think, in this situation. So, because Kimi no Todoki has quite a bit of like tension points in them, whereas this don't. It's just pure, fluffy, happy. So,
Yeah, I really would hope they would continue the anime because they never finished it. The manga finished, but they never finished the anime. So
yeah.
hoping for an announcement in the future. That'd be nice.
I mean, 2024. I mean, we've got a lot of shoujo like announcements that came to the table, so maybe we can continue this trend because it's a perfect time. You know, it's on the uptrend. So
Yeah, a lot of animes have been coming back after a long hiatus, so it gives me hope.
yeah.
Thanks, COVID.
But I guess that's it for me. Shout out Mob Psycho 2.
There you go. I was surprised to have Mob Psycho on there.
I almost put Mob Psycho and Haikyuu, but I was like, are they really cozy? You know, they're
Haikyuu's
cozy
kind of
to
intense.
me, but they're not cozy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Haikyuu is there's a lot of weird sexual tension between two boys in that show.
Well, technically, the boys and then the manager of the team as well.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have, you know, bazillions of boys and only 2 girls. So,
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Well, awesome. We hope you guys enjoyed our review of Suzume and our cozy anime picks as we head into the winter season. Make sure to rate the podcast whatever platform you're listening to. And if you guys have any fun topics you'd like us to talk about, hit us up in the Discord at linktree.com/anime degens, and we'll take a look at them. All right, guys. Peace out.
Later.
See ya.